It's good to see you again. Good to see your face again. Good to see you. I've been down that lost highway, cutting over on Route 9. Now I'm coming home to you. I feel like making up for lost time. It's good to see you. It's good to see you again. Good to see your face again. Good to see you. I'm the footsteps in your hallway. I'm the suitcase on your floor. When I'm looking out at you, I feel like I know what my life is for. It's good to see you. It's good to see you again. Good to see Bishop Hill again. It's good to see you. Hey. It's good to see you. It's good to see you again. Good to see the Creative Commons, my friends. It's good to see you. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you again. Wait to see your faces again. It's good to see you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm grateful to be the headliner tonight. Closing out a great weekend of music. I know there's a lot of folk singers streaming live from Bishop Hill, Illinois tonight. Thank you for choosing the Chicago Farmer at Heartland Connections show. This is a song I'll send out for my wife. We've been quarantined together for the last 2 months or so. This is only our second or third time apart. I'm sure she's enjoying herself right now. Send this one to her. All my troubles, all my blues, well, they take a backseat when I'm with you. All my friends and my guitars too, well, they take a backseat when I'm with you. 'Cause you and me, baby, we drive around. You fix me up when I break down. Ain't it all that I need, babe? Ain't it all that I want? That's why I gotta have you here up front. All my troubles, yeah, all my blues, well, they take a backseat when I'm with you. All my friends and my guitars too, well, they take a backseat when I'm with you. When I'm with you, I get a little lost. Points of interest come across when I'm with you. Well, the night's on fire, eyes are wide when the road tide a month, we'll celebrate our 13th wedding anniversary. Thank you very much. It's a big deal. She's my co-pilot in life, my co-pilot in the car. These days, just my co-pilot at home. And after 13 years of marriage and 16 or 17 years of traveling around the country together, we had thought that we had seen it all. But a while ago, when you could still get around, we found ourselves in Pittsburgh, which is a lovely community. The problem was we pulled into Pittsburgh at 5 o'clock on a Friday. Not a good time to pull into a major city. And there was this long line of cars not going anywhere. And we needed to get into that long line of cars not going anywhere. And I looked at my wife and I said, babe, we're in trouble. And what happened next, ladies and gentlemen, was possibly the most kind and loving and generous thing that we had ever witnessed in all of our days. I made eye contact with a guy in a car in that long line of cars, and he went like this to us. Make sure I get all the cameras. I looked at my wife and I said, what in the hell is that guy doing? She said, I have no idea. Me, I'm from a small town in central Illinois. We didn't even have traffic. My wife's from Chicago, and I can tell you right now, Bishop Hill, in the history of Chicago traffic, there's never been one instance where a human being has ever gone like this. Luckily, I had my window down, and there was a guy on the corner, and the guy on the corner was like, hey man, he's telling you that you can go ahead. You can put your car right in front of his car. I said, are you serious? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, what will happen? And he said, nothing. Nothing but pure joy and happiness, man. And I looked at my wife and I said, do you believe this? She said, hell if I know, but let's give it a try. So we did. And we went and put our car right in front of that guy's car. And sure enough, nothing happened. Nothing but pure joy and happiness, man. And I looked at my wife and I said, do you believe this? I said, we got to take this with us from now on wherever we go. And I feel like we could use a little bit of that love in our country and world right now, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? About a week later, we were in Chicago. 5 o'clock on a Friday on the Kennedy Expressway. And we were in a long line of cars not going anywhere. And I made eye contact with a woman who wanted to get into our long line of cars not going anywhere. And I looked at my wife and I said, do you remember Pittsburgh? She said, yes, I do. And I said, I'm gonna do it. She said, you're such a good person. That's why I married you almost 13 years ago. And I said, I know. So we gave that woman the wave in, and she came and she put her car right in front of our car. And nothing happened to her either. Nothing but pure joy and happiness, man. And I looked at my wife and I said, we are making a difference. We are having an impact. We are changing the world. And then some guy behind us in a fancy sports car yelled out his window, what in the hell are you hippies doing up there? Let's go. So apparently it doesn't always work. But we have to keep trying. That's all we can do is try. Thanks for trying me on and all the musicians all weekend long. When I'm with you, I get a little lost. Points of interest come across when I'm with you. Well, the night's on fire. eyes are wide when the road tires. You're so good to me, I'll be good to you. Be up front with me, babe, I'll be up front with you. And then I'll make this promise to you. If you're ever in my backseat, well, I'll be there too. All these troubles, yeah, all my blues, well, they take a backseat when I'm with you. All my friends and my guitars too, yeah, they take a backseat when I'm with you. When I'm with you. When I'm with you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Oh, it feels good to have a few people in the house tonight that are clapping and laughing and singing along. For the last 2 months, I've just been singing to my wife and the dog, and while my wife makes jewelry while I perform, and the dog sleeps through the whole thing, so it feels nice to play in front of the crew here. Something happened in here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there. He's telling me I got to beware. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. Better stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. There's 8,000 people in the streets. They're singing songs and they're carrying signs. Mostly say hooray for our side. We better stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Into your life it will creep. Well, it starts when we're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come, he take you away. You better stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop, hey, what's that sound? Stop, hey, what's that sound? Stop, hey, what's that sound? Stop. Thank you. Thanks for listening tonight, everybody. What a great lineup it's been. It's good to see my buddy Edward David Anderson play right before me. I haven't seen that cat all year. Typically, we play like, probably 10 or 12, 15 shows a year together. And that's the first time I've even seen him in the flesh. I tried to make him have a fireball shot with me on the way out the door, but he had to get home to his kiddo. The world's changed, ladies and gentlemen. The world has changed. Edward David Anderson turned down a shot. It's probably a good thing for both of us. But anywho, thanks for having us. This is Bishop Hill and the Creative Commons here is one of my favorite places to play. I don't remember really not sure how I wound up here at the first time. I know John and I kind of talked to each other over the years and never really figured anything out. And I was like, small town Illinois, yeah, that sounds right up my alley. So came and played here a few times, and really it was such a great experience, a big community vibe, and I think that's what's been happening here all weekend. People come together to support the community, local and the surrounding. Got to play at the big city of Galva for the Levitt Amp Series. So it's good to be back here in Bishop Hill, a suburb of Galva. I talk about small towns a lot, but man, this one is small. How many people live here? 100. Oh, see, there's mixed messages. Some people have moved out in the last week. Oh, she's counting cats and dogs. 120-ish, something, right? That's good. Well, this is a song here I wrote. I wrote this actually shortly after everything happened in Ferguson, Missouri, several years ago. And brought it back in the last week, watching everything happening now. It's pretty much just a song about everybody jumping on their side. Hoping we can bring people together with music. That's all I try to do. I don't try to preach to you. Just try to bring people together with my songs. And I'm very fortunate to have this outlet to be able to do so. Remember one night I was playing in Chicago of all places, and after the show a guy came up to me and he said, "Man, that was great. I loved your show, but can you leave out the politics?" And he said if I did that I'd sell twice as many records and he would follow me around wherever I go. And at first I thought, it might be nice to sell 12 records a night instead of 6. But then again, I'd have to have this guy following me around wherever I go. I've been selling 6 records a night ever since. Tip your bartenders, I'll be here all night. Young man out walking in the city's summer heat, in the middle of America, in the middle of the street. They told of how he lived, they told of how he died, the beginning to the ending of the story's other side. There's 2 sides to every story. There's 2 sides to every town. The side of town that tells the story, the side where the story went down. If you're telling your side of the story, well, the side better hold some weight. And if you're telling the story of our side of town, you better get your story straight. And there was a weighted anchor, he used to scream and point the news. You could see him every night upon the 10 o'clock evening blues. Swore he stood for something, and he tried to take a stance, but he had no legs to stand up on, There's a two sides to every town. The side of town that tells the story, the side where the story went down. If you're telling your side of the story, well, the side better hold some weight. And if you're telling the story of our side of town, you better get your story straight. There was a lawmaker whose laws never made any sense, so he started making promises to both sides of the fence. He double-crossed his fingers every other time he smiled, shook hands across the country, couldn't reach across the aisle. There's two sides to every story. There's a two sides to every town. The side of town that tells the story, the side where the story went down. If you're telling your side of the story, well, the side better hold some weight. And if you're telling the story of our side of town, you better get your story straight. I met a believer who believed everything he read, cursed people for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed, held grudges over others in the fear he couldn't hide, judging by the cover, not the story that's inside. Two sides to every story. There's a two sides to every town. The side of town that tells the story, the side where the story went down. If you're telling your side of the story, well, the side better hold some weight. And if you're telling a story of our side of town, you better get your story straight. There's people out marching in the city's summer heat, in the middle of America, in the middle of the street. Been searching there forever for a reason to the rhyme. Can two sides come together just once upon a time? The two sides to every story. There's two sides to every town. The side of town that tells the story, the side where the story went down. If you're telling your side of the story, well, the side better hold some weight. And if you're telling the story of our side of town, you better get your story straight. The moral of the story is get your story straight. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It feels good to be on a stage. I remember when I was writing that song, it was kind of like a short little poem, and I usually write when I'm driving, and not like with a pen and a pad of paper. That's dangerous, kids. Don't do that. But I come up with ideas in my head when I'm driving, and then whenever I get where I'm going, if I remember it, if it's any good, then I write it down and try to turn it into a song. I remember that was like a little tongue twister. I came up with the chorus first and then added some verses that I thought meant something. So, much love to everybody out there. I hope you're staying safe. Hope you're doing well. I know I got a lot of friends in Bloomington and Peoria that are out marching and letting their voices be heard. And thanks for doing that, and be well. There was a time in my life when my only troubles were somebody saying, hey, you can't skateboard here. or living in a small town and everybody knowing everybody, or having to work at a job that was monotonous. All those things seem so easy these days, you know. This is a song about my hometown. A small town, not quite as small as Bishop Hill, but I have songs that say it's smaller than Bishop Hill, but truthfully it is not. I woke up this morning with the last night's blues. Tide won't on, but I lost my shoes. Don't need a paper to know the news. Think I'll just go uptown. Everybody there's throwing around my name. Seems like I'm always catching that blame. It's just another one of them small town games. Think I'm gonna lose this round. 'Cause everybody knows the kind of life that you're bound to lead, if it's wrong or right. Everybody knows all about your share of ups and downs. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Long, tall Molly in her mini dress. Saturday night she's a ballin' mess. Sunday morning she'll confess. Everybody's listening now. Later on down that same night, two grown men in a barroom fight. Factory's gone back on strike. Everybody's talking now. Everybody knows the kind of life that you're bound to lead, if it's wrong or right. Everybody knows all about your share of ups and downs. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows. Yep. Everybody knows the kind of life that you're bound to lead, if it's wrong or right. Everybody knows all about your share of ups and downs. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows. I woke up this morning with the last night's blues. Tide won't on, but I lost my shoes. Now it's no secret me and Molly's news, 'cause everybody knows by now. All right. Oh, it made me feel good to look out there and see John Taylor singing along. Everybody give a bunch of hearts and fly them up in the air there on the Facebooks for John Taylor and everybody here and the entire crew. Let's open it up to requests. All right, if you requested Assembly Line Blues, that's what I'm going to do.
There was a request for that already, so.
Perfect. I've been doing this for a long time, man. Like, I don't know, 20 years. And sometimes I'll open it up for requests, and somebody will request a song that I haven't played in 20 years. And then I'll forget it. So someday maybe I'll have all my notes with me and be able to fulfill some requests. Stomp along at home if you would like. Sometimes it takes a year to get a good song. This one I wrote after I worked at Caterpillar Incorporated for 6 days. I'm walking, I'm headed to the job. I got a hangover headache from singing all night long. I'm pleading, please get me through. Ooh, you spend another morning with the Assembly Line Blues. My 15-minute break goes by in a week. 15 minutes of work lasts for days. I do think another day, another dollar, paying my dues. You spend another night with Assembly Line Blues. Yep. You do one thing wrong and they take away your rights. I assemble in the morning, reassembling at night. They say, by the way, you're gonna work Sunday too. Ooh, you spend another week with Assembly Line Blues. Been sighing and dying and panting for a rest, while the boss man is smiling with his feet on his desk. I wish for one day he could walk in my boots. He wouldn't last an hour with Assembly Line Blues. The clock is striking 7 and I don't have a care. I got my hand on my time card, my finger in the air. Tonight I'll be singing in Bishop Hill for you. Ooh, forget about my life with Assembly Line Blues. The Assembly Line Blues. The Assembly Line Blues. All right, I know that one. It's way more recent. Yes, yes, indeed. Somebody the other night requested a song that I don't even have on an album. So I couldn't really find the album and go back and find the words to it. And so I've been racking my brain in the car trying to figure out the words to the song that I wrote like 15 years ago. I guess that's why you need to record everything. Write everything down. been out of work for a while, but man, I haven't had to get gas in so long. Haven't had to get an oil change. Some things are weird. So if I did have to go somewhere that had $13 beers, at least I got the money from the oil change and the gas. But I wanted to write a song that was universal, man. Something that everybody could relate to. And I had an experience at a place that I won't mention, where I felt like I was getting robbed for trying to have a good time. And then I went to a festival that was way better. It was the complete opposite of the big arena rock place that I was. And it was in the middle of a rainstorm, and I went back to that experience I had. The not so great musical experience I had, and I wrote a song about it. It goes like this. And one thing you can guarantee, when this is all over, you can come back to the Creative Commons in Bishop Hill, Illinois, and they will not overcharge you for a beer. For more reasons than one. I worked all week long so I could go down to the arena for the big country show. But when I stepped inside, I began to shed a tear when I saw a sign that read $13 beers. $13 beers, $13 beers. I'd love to hear some songs and maybe drown away my fears. But I am just a poor boy, my money disappears, and I just can't get drunk on $13 beers. I made it to my seat. It was the third row from the back. I couldn't see a thing but a blurry cowboy hat. And all the folks behind me, they were screaming in my ears. They were getting drunk on $13 beers. $13 beers, $13 beers. I'd love to hear some songs and maybe drown away my fears. But I am just a poor boy now, I can't see or hear. And I still can't get drunk on $13 beers. This is my #1 most requested song by kids 10 and under. I don't know why, they just love it. Catchy, I guess. I left after a song. I got out of there fast. Saw a guy on the corner in Bishop Hill, so I asked, is there any place around here where they'll treat you right? Said some guy named Farmer is playing the Creative Commons tonight. You can bring your own beer, you can bring your own beer. He'll sing you some songs and he'll drown away your fears. Heartland Connections. That's music to my ears. We'll listen and we'll drink up and bring our own beers. We'll sing along, we'll drink up and bring our own beers. We'll sing along, we'll drink up. Hey, everybody, cheers. Cheers, 'cause we're not drinking $13 beers. Hey, thanks for tuning in tonight. It's good to see you here. Thank you. Did y'all see that Christina Aguilera bit I did just there a second ago? I love doing that, even though I'm no good at it. I like to start up here. I'll practice that. I can see the sun setting fast, just like they say nothing good ever lasts. So go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your lover, your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. I can see the sun setting down on our town, on our town. Good night. Over there beneath the red neon light, it's where I met my baby one hot summer night. She was a tender and I ordered a beer. It's been 20 long years and I'm still sitting here. But I can see the sun setting fast, just like they say nothing good ever lasts. So go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your lover, your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. I can see the sun setting down on our town, on our town. Good night. It's over there where I had my first kiss. I walked out on Main Street in the cool morning mist. Over there is where I bought my first car. It turned over once, then it didn't get far. But I can see the sun setting fast, just like they say nothing good ever lasts. So go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your lover, your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. I can see the sun setting down on Bishop Hill town. Good night. Buried my ma and I buried my pa. They sleep over there beneath the pretty brick wall. I can't imagine or think what they'd say if they were still around here today. If they could see the sun setting fast, just like they said nothing good ever lasts. So go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your lover, your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. I can see the sun setting down on our town, on our town. Good night. Sit on the porch and watch the fireflies, but I can't see too good, I've got tears in my eyes. Leaving tomorrow, but I don't want to go. I love you, my small town, you'll always live in my soul. But I can see the sun setting fast, just like they say nothing good ever lasts. So go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your lover, your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to my town, to my town. I can see the sun setting down on my town, on my town. Good night. Good night. Good night, good night. San Francisco and New York? Holy cow. Welcome to the Big City Show, folks. What is that thing in your pocket? Or in your shoe? Oh, yeah. Requests.
A request for the host and the hostess with the most and the mostess. Anybody having a request out there?
What is that thing in your shoe?
Okay, yeah, I can play that one. Salt Lake, St. Louis, New York City, and San Fran. Holy cow, this is awesome. Well, this is a small town to big city story. People ask me all the time, what's the deal with this whole Chicago farmer thing? And then I have to explain it. I've explained it for the last 20 years, but this song probably gives you a little insight on what it's all about. I wrote this song for my grandparents. They've inspired me my whole life. And I was doing a live stream a couple weeks ago, and my mom and my mom's boyfriend Ray, they went to Delavan, my hometown, and they watched my live stream with my grandparents. And my grandparents were watching my live stream, and obviously they could watch me, you know. And then after the song, my grandma was like, everybody clap, what are you doing? Everybody clap so he can see you. And grandma didn't realize that I couldn't see them, you know. She could see, they all could see me, but I couldn't see them. And grandma didn't know that at first. It was a really cute thing. I loved it. And then, but man, my grandpa's 98, and my grandma's in her early 90s, and they're big inspirations on me. And after that night, they figured it out, and man, they're in their mid to late 90s, and they can figure out computers. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. And we even got to Zoom with them the other night. Zooming with their 90-year-old grandparents was pretty cool. Went around the room, and everybody took turns telling them what they've been up to. It's beautiful things. As a small-town, stubborn kid who hates technology, it's definitely come through in this day and age and during these times. This is a song here I wrote for the grandparents. They get a kick out of it. Hope you do too. I was down on the farm, you know, just tilling around. It's just me and Grandpa waiting on a familiar sound. Come 11:30, we'd both hear Grandma's voice saying it's time to eat, you'd better bring it in, boys. Well, the food's out on the table and I was ready to take my place. She pulled me aside once while Grandpa was washing his face. Said, you won't need this now, boy, oh, but someday you will. She said, keep this in your shoe. It was a $20 bill. Oh, now, Grandma, don't make them like you anymore. Except for them young soldiers we send off to war. Seems you're always righting the wrongs of somebody else. Seems you're always fighting for somebody other than yourself. All that you done now, all that you still do, well, I'll keep you in my heart. You're 20 in my shoe. I was up there in Chicago, you know, just killing my time.
Well, the show got over early, so I was just blowing my mind. This man came up to me and he tried to ruin all my fun. He pushed me to the ground and then he pulled out a gun. Said, if you've no money, boy, this'll be the end of you. I said, hold on a minute, I got a 20 in my shoe. He leaned in there real close and then he stared in disbelief. When I reached for that 20, you know I sized up that thief. But he never saw it coming. Oh, I took that man's life. 'Cause next to Grandma's 20, I keep Grandpa's knife. Grandma and Grandpa, they don't make them like you anymore. Except for them young soldiers we send off to war. Seems you're always righting the wrongs of somebody else. Seems you're always fighting for somebody other than yourself. All that you've done now, all that you still do, I'll keep you in my heart, your knife and 20 in my shoe. All right, thank you so much, everybody. How we doing out there, John? Anybody watching? That's awesome. We're almost getting to the population of Bishop Hill. That'd be cool if we could hit that, wouldn't it? Everybody share the event or call a friend. Or...
So what's your favorite song? What do you want to request?
What do I want to hear? Oh, man. Well, you can send me money any way you like. I go by Chicago Farmer, but my name is Cody Dekoff, which is a really hard name to remember and a hard name to spell. So hopefully it's there on the interwebs somewhere. If not, whatever. It's all good. Yeah, just come drop. I'll put my hat out in front of the Creative Commons in Bishop Hill. You can just drop a couple bucks in there. Excellent. This was more of a. This has been one of my favorite songs for a long time. I guess it was came out as a rock and roll song, and but today so many people are marching, and I'll tell you a little story about this here. Let me have one sip of each of my 4 beverages right quick. Well, 2 for now, I guess. Oh. There's a great bed and breakfast here in Bishop Hill. Might just have to stay in town tonight. I don't know. I was playing at this club on the north side of Chicago one time, and it happened to be the night of the Women's March in Chicago.
several years ago, and I had a lot of friends and some family that were taking part in the Women's March. And I was playing this club, and the march was winding down. And about 10 minutes before I was going to go on, the owner of the club came up to me, and he said, "Hey, Farmer, you're the official Women's March after party." And I said, "I don't know how I got this gig. I guess all the female musicians were all marching." So I got the call to be the official Women's March after party at this club in the north side of Chicago. So I said, "I'm up for the challenge." And then he came back a couple minutes later, and he was like, "So think of a song that's appropriate." And at the time, I didn't have any Women's March songs in my repertoire, so I had to come up with something fast. And for decades, musicians have gone to one person when things like that happen. And so I went to this guy, and we sang this song, and it went pretty well. Send it out to everybody out there today.
No, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I stand my ground, won't be turned around. In a world that keeps on pushing us around, we'll stand our ground, and we won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right. I got just one life. In a world that keeps on pushing us around, we'll stand our ground, and we won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Everybody. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. The people here at Creative Commons sound good tonight. How's everybody at home sounding? You doing okay? Yeah, you might need another beverage. When this is all over, we're taking the show on the road, the whole crew, the whole town. One more time, the feeling, everybody. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and we won't back down.
won't back down. All right. Thanks for participating, everybody. Let's see here. Working on it? All right. I do know that one. Let's see here. Sure. If my wife was here, she'd say, "You haven't played hardly anything from the new album." And she would be right. And that's why we need her here, always, to remind me of the business aspects of all. Yes. This is a full-scale operation here. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. My wife does make guitar string jewelry. It's awesome. It's called Twice Upon a String. And in normal times, when things are halfway normal, that's what she does. And also here at Bishop Hill, the Creative Commons, all kinds of great artists and craftspeople make amazing stuff here. It's a really cool place. If you're ever anywhere in Illinois, just come on by here to Bishop Hill, Illinois. If you're within 1,000 miles. All right. And what? Okay. All right. I'm going to do some of those. Here's one nobody requested. But I've been tuning for it for the last minute and a half. So I'm going to play it. And then we'll do a couple of your requests, I promise. Well, come on, boys, I can see the light through the shadow of my doubt. I'll make a run at the sun tonight and be home for it's out. Put some fuel on the fire and I'll make good time. So meet me down at the Indiana line. Oh, meet me down at the Indiana line. Got a heavy thought, but my foot is soft, doing 30 through these towns. Yeah, I won't stop till I make the drop and I turn this thing around. Well, I'll obey the signals, I'll obey them signs. Just point me towards that Indiana line. Yeah, point me towards that Indiana line. Yeah. It's a make or break to the interstate. No way I could get caught. With a stack of bills and a hose to fill, I'd do it in one shot. I'll be the king of the roadkill, two birds at one time. I'm a stone's throw from the Indiana line. I'm a stone's throw from the Indiana line. There's an overhaul in the left lane stall, the sheriff on my tail. I'll pray a pass, so I hit that gas and move on down the trail. 'Cause I won't be forgiven, they don't take too kind. Now they're holding up that Indiana line. Well, they're holding up that Indiana line. There's a standstill, oh, in Danville.
I'm falling way behind. There's a standstill, oh, in Danville. I'll be losing more than my mind. Come on, boys, they're flashing lights in the shadow of my doubt. I made a run at the sun tonight, now all my options out. Hope I make it back home to Illinois, the beating or refine. Yeah, this could be the Indiana line. Oh, this could be the Indiana line. Yeah, this must be the Indiana line. Yep. He could always be found in the backyard. The bases he'd round until it grew too dark. When his time came, he didn't hesitate. They put him in the game, and he stepped up to the plate. He was thinking curveball, but he got instead 95 miles an hour right into his head. He hobbled down to first with a lump on his face, and on the very next pitch, he up and stole second base. With the greatest speed, he wasn't born, but he had the dirtiest uniform. With the greatest speed, he wasn't born, but he had the dirtiest uniform. Board was out of touch, kids were out of reach. She never gave up on her passion to teach. And even though the school's on the wrong side of the tracks, well, she crossed over and she came and gave back. We knew she could have left, but she stuck around to get everyone else's feet back on the ground. Then we would thrive and we'd achieve, 'cause she's the first one to arrive and the last one to leave. From the wealthiest town, she wasn't born, but she had the dirtiest uniform. From the wealthiest town, she wasn't born, but she had the dirtiest uniform. Both of them folks, they were heroes to me. And I grew up with hopes of something to be. I'd watch him play, listen to her teach, and I set out on my way to practice what they preach. So I heard my calling, and I found my thing. Now I spend my Sunday nights falling down trying to sing. But I get back up just like they taught, and I keep on working with the tools that I got. With the prettiest voice, I wasn't born, but I have the dirtiest uniform. With the prettiest voice, I wasn't born, but I have the dirtiest uniform. Names in the lights, get out of the van. Another night singing songs with the Heartland connections. Been putting in the miles, we've been living the dream, 'cause it's all worthwhile the times you take one for the team. with the catchiest sound. We weren't born, but we've got the dirtiest uniforms with the catchiest sound. We weren't born, but we've got the dirtiest uniform. Don't let the suit fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the catchiest songs we don't perform, but we've got the dirtiest uniform. All right, thanks so much to everybody that requested those last two. How we doing on time, everybody? Is everybody good? I know a lot of people got things to do tonight. Reunion of the Wonder Years, I know, is happening on TBS. Oh, I shouldn't have told everybody that. All right, 2 requests in a row coming at you right here. This is a song, I typically write all my songs by myself. I have for like the last 20 years, and this was the first time I ever had a little help with this song. I co-wrote it with a deer on the side of I-74. Goes like this. A country boy from Illinois. Well, I got a fear of flying. It ain't so much the flights or even the heights. It's more the flights, the heights, and the dying. But I gotta get me and my fiddle to the show. This work I'm doing, hey, keeps me moving. Hey, I got a long way to travel. It sounds insane, hey, to board a plane. Hey, and all you know is hard road to gravel. Then I recall what my daddy told me long ago. He said you can stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. That's what he told me. You can stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. I got a lot of songs that are like 9 minutes long. I don't write too many radio hits like this one.
So, good news is I feel like this song's going pretty well so far. Bad news is that's the whole thing. And I only want to sell 6 records a night. I don't want to hit. Well, I do, but anyways, I could keep jamming on the harmonica and melting faces and blowing minds with my skills, but instead, I'd rather participate and bring together some Heartland connections. So with feeling, ladies and gentlemen, it goes like this. Let's see if we can come close to that Tom Petty song with enthusiasm and volume. You can't stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. I mean, that was decent. This song has been on the radio about 15 million times less than Tom Petty, so that was a pretty good start. Here we go. You can't stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. Yeah, 'cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. Thank you. You can't stick around with your feet on the ground. There ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. A country boy from Illinois, I used to have a fear of flying. Well, I arrived here kicking and screaming the day that I took the stage. I went searching for some kind of meaning, like words looking for a page. Came up empty and full of worry that nothing could cover the pain. And these songs and stories began unfolding like an umbrella in the rain. I wanna write you a sad, sad song that I hope will make you smile. And then we could pass it along. We're only here for a little while. Strike up a chord, strike up the band, and we'll play out the lessons learned. Strike up a match, then it's 3 strikes, you're out, and depression will take its turn. We've been trying to find our way through the darkness of our minds. We all get our names in the paper someday. I pray not before our time. I wanna sing you a sad, sad song that I wrote to make you smile. And then we could pass it along. We're only here for a little while.
When I was young, all I did was take. I've been trying harder to give. For so long I was living to die. Now I'm dying just to live. Now we'll leave here kicking and screaming the day that I take my rest. But I've got a whole lot more in me till the end of my set list. Still time to sing us a sad, sad song full of hope to make us smile. And then we could pass it along. We're only here for a little while.
Thanks for the request, everybody. All right. Well, hopefully we can get out there one of these days. I would love to come see y'all wherever you might be. That's usually what I do. Just in the last couple of years, I've been playing Illinois a lot less and hitting out there and seeing new places and meeting new folks. Thanks again to John and Heartland Connections and everybody here at Creative Commons for putting this together all weekend long. It's really a beautiful thing. I can't tell you how much it means to us and how much it helps. This is a song I learned when I played some shows with a guy named Willie Watson from Old Crow Medicine Show.
Well, my friend, I see your face so clearly. A little bit tired, a little worn through the years. You sound nervous, you seem alone. Hardly recognize your voice on the telephone. In between, I remember before we wound up broken down. We drive out the edge of the highway, follow that lonesome broken dead-end sign south. Walking a line between faith and fear. And this life don't go on forever. When you cry, taste the salt in your tears. So come, my friend, let's put this thing together. And worn out shoes are our feet have trod. And if you want, we'll try to sing these songs forever, change our ways and spell our names to God. We're all in this thing together, walking a line between faith and fear. This life don't go on forever. When you cry, taste the salt in your tears. All we are is a picture in the mirror. Fancy shoes now to grace our feet. And all there is a slow road to freedom, heaven above and the devil beneath. We're all in this thing together, we're walking a line between faith and fear. And this life don't go on forever. When you cry, taste the salt in your tears. We're all in this thing together, we're walking a line between faith and fear. This life don't go on forever. When you cry, taste the salt in your tears. When you cry, taste the salt in your You sit on the roof and talk for hours. Used to dance naked in summer showers, talking about the good times, talking of dreams. Used to call her princess, now we call her queen. Used to go to parties with no makeup on. She's never silent, she scream out a song. Not a bone in her body, that was me. Used to call her princess, now we call her queen. And we used to make out and roll in the snow when the summer heat turned to winter cold. Her legs would shiver, I'd give her my favorite jeans. Used to call her princess, now we call her queen. And now she's feasting in her mansion by the lake. She don't mention me much since she got a break. Her maid does the dusting with my jeans. Used to call her princess, now we call her queen. know, somebody asked me a question one time. I don't remember if it was Paul or John. He wanted to know about the lonely people. He said, where do they all come from? I said, I don't know where they come from, man, but I sure as hell know where they meet. This little place called Bishop Hill, down on the corner of one of their couple of streets. And they show up with their green sacks and their potlucks and their 12-packs and their instruments of mass and minor destruction, and they get together and they have a little fun. Because anymore, that's what friends are for down there at the Creative Commons. To say you're lonely, but you're not the only one. Walk there in the door at the Creative Commons and I say, hey man, John Taylor, what's going on? And maybe Brian Fox Ellis can tell us a little story that maybe could someday turn into a song. And there's artists and there's craftspeople and there's normal people and those who are not. And those are usually the ones that I go up to first to say, what's happening? What do you know? What do you got? And there's a little potluck happening over there in the corner, and somebody's got a crock pot out, and maybe a couple cases of soda, maybe a shot of Fireball or two to get you through the night. Some guy named Farmer's gonna come up here and try to entertain you for a little while, and before the show starts, you can walk around the place and check out all the cool arts and crafts, and then maybe we'll have a little tear. And then maybe we'll have a little laugh. And then maybe we'll go across the street to that pub that has non-$13 beers. Or maybe that one restaurant down there the next day for a little breakfast or brunch. You ever heard of that place, man? What's it called? The Bishop Hill Bakery and Eatery. I've been there before. And we make the most out of what we got. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get alive, gonna get myself off of old 55, 'cause I've been drinking, I got dilated eyes. It's been too many moons since I've seen the sunrise. Time to move, it's time to move. It's time to move on, it's time to get going. What lies ahead, I got no way of knowing. But under my feet, babe, the grass is growing. Yeah, it's time to move on. Oh, it's time to get going. 'Cause there ain't much water in this here little old town. But that don't mean that some folks like us can't drown. It's another junkie night in Bishop Hill, the Creative Commons, you know. Sometimes when you walk in the door, you're lonely, but you're not the only one. You're confused, but you're not the only one. You're quarantined, but you're not the only one. You're missing live music, let me tell you, you're not the only one. You're missing a little Heartland connections. Hope you all had a good time tonight. Thanks for listening to me. Hope I've been a little bit of a Heartland connection for you all. Thanks for supporting music. Thanks to John Taylor and the crew here, everybody. You're lonely, but you're not the only one. It was good to see you. It was good to see you again. It was good to see your face again. Good to see you. It was good to see you. Was good to see you again. Good to make a Heartland connection. It was good to see you. Thank you. Keep your head up. Don't back down. Thanks, everybody. Good night.